Hello, hello, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Tara, and we will be starting in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to welcome you to our esports. Another segment in our esports series around leadership. This is a digital workshop, so feel very comfortable with turning your camera on, coming off of mute. We like to have authentic discussions around the topic, so I want you to feel free to do so. I'm not sure why. There we go. Okay. So, folks, as folks are coming in, if you would go ahead and drop in the chat where you're from. I always like to know where our audience is joining us from. Thank you for turning your camera on. Love to see lovely faces. If you want to just drop in the chat where you're from, your district and where you're from would be awesome. And like I said, we will get started right at the top of the hour. Nice, Tennessee. Beautiful. We have Laco with us again. Welcome, welcome. California, where I am. Lovely. In Texas. Nice. Hello and welcome as those of you who are just coming in. My name is Tara, and we are going to be starting very shortly. This is a digital workshop, so we encourage you to come off of mute, turn your cameras on, join the conversation. Some of my folks are going to the lobby. I'm not quite sure why. But we will get started shortly. If you can, as you're coming in, just drop into chat where you're from, your district and the city would be awesome. Or if you're from an organization, that's cool too. Welcome. Oh, Florida, lovely. So again, good afternoon to my East Coasters and good morning to my West Coast. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to start with some housekeeping items as folks are still coming on. And then I'm going to turn it over to our facilitator, Alvaro, who I've had the pleasure of meeting on a couple of occasions. So I am just thrilled to be able to have him share with you all. Thank you for putting into chat where you're from. Welcome again, East Coast and West Coast. I'm going to share just a couple of items before we get started. And again, this is a digital workshop, so feel very comfortable coming off of mute, turning your cameras on, as some of you have already done, and joining the conversation. That is really the purpose of us coming together, to have these authentic discussions. So let me quickly share here. I wanted to give you all an opportunity to see, uh-oh, not that. All of my, okay, this is, forgive me. I don't know what is, let me stop sharing for a second because it's not going to the right screen. Give me one sec. Okay, let's try it again. Here we are. Okay, we're gonna start here. I'm not sure why it wasn't going there. Okay, let's share screen. And now we're going to do it that way. my gosh, this little, so this keeps getting in my way there. Okay, now you all are seeing the screen that I want you to see. So this is our educator or our education rather landing page for ViewSonic, and the banner that runs is a great introduction into the educator community. And so here's our district spotlight, which I'm super excited about. Fayette County Public Schools. If you haven't had a chance to read, I encourage you to do so. Some real innovation in that district, also around esports. So I would just encourage you to read that. Our Expert Academy for Professional Development is coming up again. Refer a friend, and our ambassador program, all things that I encourage you to just at your when you have an opportunity to peruse. To join the community, you can click that tab if you're not a member yet. Since I am, it's going to take me directly in. And if you are, it'll take you to the same space. If you're not, you'll have an opportunity to click here where it says sign into the community. It is single sign-on, so the same email address that you use for school or for your My View board access is what you can use to sign in here. And it's super quick, and it'll take you right into the community space. The community space is becoming what I'm hoping will take shape is more or less a one-stop shop that's really designed for you all to collaborate, to contribute, and to be able to connect with other educators. And so as you can see, that's what this open forum is truly designed for. It's also going to provide you with resources to aid in your utilization of our ecosystem. And so what's going to be coming soon, not here yet, but we're going to be adding our gaming to the product forum so that any questions you might have around gaming, you'll be able to find here. Regional forums, obviously, you're going to come into the USA forum by default, but you can also visit our international spaces and connect with international with educators internationally. And then our Learning Center is awesome because this is going to provide you with different webinars, our knowledge bases here, and other educational resources. What I want to take you to really quick now is here. This is our digital workshop that we're in now. And here you have the thread. So this thread, if you would like an opportunity to win a gift card, any of you who have joined me before know I love to give things away. And so if you join the community and reflect in the thread, anything, post a comment here, that's how you become a part of the drawing. And when you're a part of the drawing, that means you have an opportunity to win. And so what I love to do is I keep this open for an hour after the session. And so then I take all the names, put them into the wheel of names, spin, and see who my winner is going to be. So what I'll do is I'll drop the link into chat. And that'll give you an opportunity to join the community if you haven't done so already, as well as be able to post a comment. Okay, so thank you again for joining us. I am again just thrilled to have Alvaro with us. I know you're going to love him as much as I do, so I will pass it on to Alvaro.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Good morning and good afternoon for everyone. My name is Alvaro Brito, and today we're going to go through this quick little webinar on nurturing leadership in esports. Now, one thing that we do want to make it, that we want to make this session as interactive as possible. So at any point in time, as I'm showing some of the wonderful things that we've done at Compton Unified Esports League through our journey, feel free to stop me, ask some questions in the chat, And I want to make this session as interactive as possible. And if you get away with 1 or 2 nuggets that you could take for your organization or your program, that will be key to our success here. So currently, I am an assistant principal at a middle school here in Compton Unified School District. It's urban school district that has about 18,000 students, 33 different school sites. And last year, I was the STEAM administrator for the school district and worked as an EdTech specialist for 7 years. So as my role as a STEAM administrator was to bring about these programs, these innovative programs such as esports, robotics. We started a drones program this past year to establish and solidify these programs. So now at a more micro level, I'm bringing those type of initiatives and programs to our school site here at Enterprise Middle School. So there's my contact information if you want to follow me on LinkedIn or shoot me a quick email. That's where you'll find my contact, and I'll share this in the end of the session as well. So in the chat, I know some of you all shared what city you're from, what state you're from, but if you can, what's your esports status? Are you exploring? Are you curious? Are you implementing? Or are you already in the innovating phase? If you could just type it in the chat, let me know where you're at. That will kind of gauge where I focus for those who I've done this workshop in the past, and I have done it where a bunch of novice teachers and administrators just wanted to know what esports is all about, versus doing the same session for a group of administrators and teachers that have done esports already. So let me just go ahead and open it up for that. Just go ahead and let me know where you're at with esports. All right, so Benjamin is already in the implementing phase. David, same thing, innovating actually. All right, we got Rebecca, curious. Michael, implementing ICANN firewalls are hard to make work, indeed. Second year of middle school. Okay, and just learning about the concept. All right, Leslie, you're in your year 2 of esports. Okay, wonderful. So we have a good mix. So it's gonna make a very interesting discussion. I think, like I said, during the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to come off mute or type it in the chat, and I'll make sure I pause the presentation so we can keep going. Now, so just a little quick history. I guess one of my historical backgrounds of esports, I started my esports journey, as you could say, back in 2013. This was my second year of teaching, and I really wanted to start a after-school program or even a lunch program where students came and did a little bit of game design, but I would bring back then my N64 and my Wii, and the students will play in this environment, right? So I started with the hour code, getting my students excited about coding and programming, got them excited about Kodu labs, game labs, and then we also gamed a little bit. So ever since then, since I started teaching, I was really interested in how I could bring some of my own passions of gaming into the classroom to also bring opportunities for our students. Now, for this, I do want to hit these 5 different objectives for today's presentation. So I do want to give you a little bit of history and progression of our K-12 district-led esports program here at Compton Unified. I want to break down the components and technology needs that we address for our esports program here. We will discuss the tournament play and what it takes to run a high school and middle school tournament, and then learn about the student-centered esports program build out of the future. So in the key success of our esports program, we've always been putting students centered, right? How can we build the capacity where students are the leaders in the esports programs, whether they're shoutcasting, broadcasting, organizing a tournament, communicating and marketing the tournaments? This is one key of success, and of course, building a strong network of partnerships to make esports a huge success at your organization. So, give me a second here. Okay, so for those who don't know what esports is, apologies. So esports is short for electronic sports, right? And it involves competitive video game tournaments. So an organized tournament for video games is key, right? And there's different types of games that students are into. The popular esports genres include MOBAs, first-person shooters, fighting games, card games, and the list goes on. And we're going to start seeing even esports happening here at the Olympics very soon, right? So esports has exploded. It's a billion-dollar industry, and we're using this in Compton Unified as a carrot on the stick, right, to entice students into joining these esports programs, but also giving them opportunities for STEAM pathways and careers. Plus, we've seen an improvement in attendance, academic success, and also social emotional learning. So where does esports come into the scholastic ecosystem, right? So for students, we want to make sure that we're providing esports spaces and hubs to improve student engagement, as I mentioned, right? So we've seen that students enjoy these interactive experiences with one another, competing, playing. Most of your students are already playing at their school site or their organization, so we're trying to bring that in a fun, safe environment. Students learn those teamwork and communication skills where they're able to work together to achieve a common goal, right, to try to win the match. But at the same time, they learn how to communicate and work well with one another. Eventually, we do want to see how we could open up even more opportunities for our scholars to get scholarship opportunities so they could go on to a four-year college and continue to go in the trajectory of esports. And of course, there's different career paths within esports that could entice students into the STEAM pathways. So our esports program, so you'll see this cool acronym, CUEL, that's Compton Unified Esports League. We are pretty unique where we try to build connections and mentorships with local university partners. So we did a strategic partnership with Cal State Dominguez Hills here, which is about 15 minutes from our school sites here in Compton Unified. And they have a pretty rigorous and well thought out and well-established esports program. So during the pandemic and thereafter, we went ahead and had their esports students mentor our esports students. And really, that was a critical piece to our success because we learned how the collegiate esports ecosystem worked. And we were able to bring some of those components and some of those values and skill sets to our high school and middle school esports program. So I think, building these strong partnerships are key. Looking at local universities, colleges, community colleges is one key to success. We've also partnered up with Compton College to run some of these tournaments and really get students excited about, if they want to continue, playing as an athlete, they can at Cal State Dominguez Hills, Compton College, Cal State Long Beach, right? We're trying to make those connections and see where they could filter through. Now, something that I do want to show is the NASIF little wheel here, which, if you've been in the esports space and ecosystem, you've probably seen. But we're trying to really showcase to students what are some of the different types of careers and pathways that them as players can pursue after, right? And a lot of our esports programs right now at Compton Unified School District focuses on these components of entrepreneurship, organizers, strategists, and content creators. And in the end of the presentation, I'll show you a video of our esports showcase on how we were able to bring all of these components in one showcase, right? We were able to have our students run a tournament, organize it, market it, strategize, and even put it together. So I think that's a big component of how you're able to build the leadership component for our scholars. So these are our 5 strategies that are still carrying over today. So as I mentioned, tournaments and productions are student-led. This is something that we're trying to perfect and work with. And we've been working with different partners such as LandFest, NASIF, Generation Esports, and the list goes on how we could train our students to be the ones in front of the mic, be the ones that are in the back, organizing a tournament, putting it all together. And that's something that, of course, would take a lot of mentorship and a lot of support for our scholars, especially since a lot of them, this is kind of like a mini internship or a job on how to do it effectively. But our whole goal with the esports program is not just to provide a space where students just game, but they build transferable soft skills. and they're able to build their leadership skills so they could feel a sense of ownership for the esports program. We've seen an improvement of grades and attendance and focus on social emotional learning. And in order for our students to be part of the esports program, they have to maintain a certain GPA. They have to come to school on time, ready to go. And we also embed social emotional learning within our esports ecosystem, right? Where it's just a quick check-in, hi, how are you doing? You know, and training the coaches and teachers on what to do if a student starts tilting or getting, you know, really frustrated because they're not winning the matches, right? So, you know, learning and teaching them how to control their anger, breathing mechanisms and skills so they could, you know, bring it down a notch, and also, you know, focus on some of the different stretches that they will need to compete and do well. Diversify and expand our esports offerings for all students. We want to make sure that we offer it to every single student, whether they're in special education, male, female, anyone, make it as inclusive as possible, right? And, you know, for those who have been in the esports space, you'll see that it's mostly male dominated. You know, you'll have your boys coming in and super excited, but, you know, you have to be very intentional in how you're able to bring in, you know, more of the female gamers. And trust me, they're there. You know, we have a lot of young ladies who want to play and want to be part of that social sphere and ecosystem. So, you know, what opportunities are you creating for that? And for us, you know, we've been trying to bring in different game titles, bring in different components of the esports club to make it more inclusive and making sure it's a safe environment for all, right? Dealing with the toxicity, dealing with all the negative comments that, you know, most of our male players have. That provides a great opportunity, a learning opportunity for our students. Again, we also want to expose students to STEAM fields and pathways. And actually, this picture right here was taken at the ViewSonic headquarters. You know, we had a virtual field trip for our students that we took them on a field trip to talk about the broadcasting aspect that comes into esports and what kind of careers and pathways are open because of that. We've taken our students to different game creating studios such as Blizzard. They've been to Epic games. So it's, you know, again, it's opening up those opportunities, right? And being intentional. It's like, hey guys, so if you know you're interested in creating games, organizing games, communications or broadcasting, etc., there's different pathways that your passion can lead you towards. And of course, this is not done without strong partners. And partners, and I'm going to repeat this again and again, because I and the team in NATech did not do this by ourselves. We have some dedicated, awesome people that are willing to support and help you through your esports journey. This past year, actually, we won the Golden Bell, which is a pretty prestigious award for school boards here in California. And for this initiative, we won it from games to careers for our esports initiatives throughout the district. So we've kind of created a little bit of a model, if you will, on how you can create a esports program that's just not centered at one or two schools, but it's district wide. And we're slowly expanding to make sure that every single school site in Compton has these opportunities, creating it from a lens of equity and being intentional and focused on what kind of careers can open up from participating in esports, right? So, you know, very excited that we won this award. And again, you know, this opens a gambit of more opportunities and more partnerships to ensure that we continue to grow our esports initiative. Now here, I'm gonna, you know, share a little bit of how we started with esports, and I'll let these videos play in the background. But we started with our high schools, and we just brought them into a multi-purpose room, and we bussed our 4 high schools into this multi-purpose room, and we started with Overwatch. And these 4 high schools were very excited. They were able to get at least 4 teams together, and then they did a round robin and they competed. This was about now 6 years ago. So our esports journey at Compton Unified started 6 years ago when we started busing our high school students into one space. And from there, you know, in year 2, we expanded to our middle school tournament with Rocket League. And now we're also expanding from last year to include Minecraft EDU to do a storybook showcase for our elementary school students as well, right? So we're trying to be as comprehensive as possible to provide these opportunities from students as low as first, second grade with Minecraft EDU all the way up to high school as well, right? So we all have to start somewhere. For us, it was our high schools, busing them in, having one spot with these laptops that you saw, to now being able to run showcases and have state-of-the-art esports labs around our facilities as well. So for those who are getting started with esports, real quick, and then I know this was made in the comments, working with your IT department is crucial. Crucial. And, sometimes when I talk to educators, they're like, oh, not a problem. I'll bring my Nintendo Switch. We'll be able to do this. I'll connect it here and there. And you can't have an esports program without the full-fledged support of the IT department and creating these ecosystems and spaces for the network that is doable. We had a conversation, the ed tech department, which is under ed services, and our IT department, to figure out ways where we could establish certain network and ports that are open during a certain amount of time, and then they close out, right? So our after school component, we open up the ports at 2:45 p.m., close them at 5 p.m. right after school, and Rocket League is turned off during the school day, right? So that's a key component. I've heard and seen other networks from other school districts working on a VLAN, working on its own network just for the esports program in itself, right? So there's different ways and modalities to try to come to a common compromise, right? But with that, you also need to understand that there's certain game titles that might not be acceptable, right? And for us, like I mentioned, we started with Overwatch, and moved away from first-person shooters, and now just focus on Rocket League, Minecraft, chess, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, right? So depending on the district, depending on, sometimes even the school board and the superintendent, you might want to frame and check what kind of game titles are acceptable, right? Of course, the ratings for the games is one big indicator of what kind of games you want to open up and host for your students. But honestly, if you start off with just a couple Nintendo Switches, and if you want to compete against other school districts, then certain ports and items have to be open in the internet. But if you just want to have an in-house, in-district, or in-school tournament and competition, you could just land them, right? You could just connect them with one another and compete within the sphere. So the budgets, you could start off with game consoles, and I've supported districts that started with just a bunch of Nintendo Switches, and that's how they started, versus districts that say, hey, Alvaro, I have X amount of funds available that I really want to create a innovative space for our students to game, to produce, to really get the best experience in esports possible. What can I do? Then that's where you could start creating these innovative esports labs, which require, bigger budget for the desktops and monitors, etc. One thing that we've done as well, we've also worked with NASIF. The website's right there. NASIF has a lot of great resources on how to onboard, train, and just a plethora of materials to get you started with esports. So if you're not a NASIF member, it's a free organization, nonprofit that you could join to do that. The next thing is making it accessible to students. So, working with principals directly, a lot of them state, they do want to have these high expectations, just like any other sport. We want to hold those same students accountable. Now, we've also created, and I'll share this in the end of the presentation, a academic improvement plan for students that are not quite there yet, with a 2-week grace period where they have to improve their grades and attendance in order to stay in the esports program. We've seen a lot of success with this, right? So there's a lot of students that are gonna, sorry, sir, yeah, I haven't been doing my work. All of these students, shortly after, will start turning in their work. We'll start coming to school on time and getting there. So, creating these opportunities for them and, having some leniency, but also, hey, if you're not up to this expectation, then you're not gonna stay in the program. And of course, the last thing, you want to showcase a tournament to your community, whether it's a community, just a school. I would involve the parents. I would involve, community members, school officials, district officials, right? You want to showcase it because you want to showcase what the students are doing, right? Not just the gaming aspect and the competitive edge of it, but if you're building a really robust, student-centered, leadership-focused esports program, what skill sets are students also gaining from being part of this program, right? And with the student-centered focus lens, you'll be able to get the most bang out of your buck for an esports program, and students will, come up and do what's best. So let me just showcase this video of our first esports championship.
Today is the championship of the Compton Unified School District's esports tournament, which the Chargers are a presenting sponsor of. These kids have been going through a 2-month esports tournament, but also learning about STEM curriculum and experiencing video game design career opportunities.
The winning team of the championship is going to get a prize package, VIP tickets to a Chargers game. They're going to get a trophy. They're going to have lunch with a game designer, and then they're going to go to a college that has a gaming arena and meet the players and the professors that are really talking about how they're building a program.
We saw this as an opportunity to expand the horizon of students within our district that are interested in technology by exposing them to something that they like and to expose the opportunities that exist in the field of esports. So we appreciate all the support that's been given to the Compton Unified School District via the Los Angeles Chargers.
There are going to be 4 million jobs in 2025 unfilled in the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math fields. It is imperative that we get more students graduating and interested in pursuing those disciplines as a career. And we find in our research that students that do participate in esports tournaments are more likely to pursue computer science degrees in college. And this really means a lot for Compton. This is the first year Compton has had an esports tournament, and so far it's been very successful.
So again, partnerships, right? And as you saw, that was our very first run tournament, and we worked with different partners, including the Chargers, Carrot Group, which is now Lollipop Labs, and they're the ones that organize it. And as we're moving into year 6 of esports, we really want our students to be the ones behind the production desk, the ones that are putting these tournaments together. So we have a partnership with LandFest in building a curriculum and showing the students from an industry expert on how to do this. We have the Generation Esports curriculum as well. And right now we have an esports elective at Compton Early College where they're actually putting all these different skill sets to the test, right? So that esports elective class at that high school ran our esports tournament last year, right? So they went ahead and put everything that they learned in that classroom into practice. So, here we have another student, Christopher, who's doing the broadcasting, the shoutcasting in Spanish, right? So he was able to dub it, so our Spanish-speaking listeners are able to listen to the matches as well. So it's all about this, right? It's like, what kind of skill sets are you showcasing to your students? And the interest is there. Are the opportunities given in these esports ecosystems? And for esports streaming, of course, right, there's different roles and opportunities. We've been opening up many opportunities for our scholars to be behind a mic. So they are interested in being a shoutcaster. You'll be surprised to see how many students already do this in their free time at, on Twitch or YouTube Live, etc. So now we're trying to coach them, give them those public speaking skills, right? Especially for English language learners, showing them how to properly speak in public, in a production setting. So we've been partnering up, and as you can see here, we have one of our students here behind the mic and another one right here in a virtual broadcast. But we're very excited to provide these opportunities to our scholars. Now, in order to do this, and as I mentioned, right, we're already in year 6 of our esports program. We were able to develop and create the state-of-the-art esports facility in our Davis Middle School. So this is one of 5 different labs that we've created in Compton Unified School District. And these labs are ready to rock and roll for any type of production setup, right? So you'll see the monitors in front of the desk. That will be great for coaching and to seeing what the students are doing. So this setup is, as I mentioned, the state-of-the-art setup that's ready to go for production. We also have the gaming stations where the students are competing against one another, but also this room was created so we could have game design as well. So we had a virtual reality session on here, custom wall art, custom chairs. So this setup is ready to go. And we wanted to emulate the experience that students get at a collegiate setting in a middle school / high school setting as well. So we're very invested. We also have plans to make this space a good pathway and a good training grounds for our cybersecurity pathway as well. So there's a lot of work in progress in terms of our esports space. And as I mentioned, this is one of 5. So we're building these spaces at Centennial High School, Dominguez, Whaley, and Bunch Middle School. Okay. Partnerships. You want to make sure that you're working with partners that are going to get you the results that you want, right? There's different, esports vendors out there. They all have different, priorities. But for us, how are we going to get the best student-centered esport experience as possible, right? So this is something that we've been very critical in trying to figure out who are the right partners to help us achieve this goal. And we wanted to make sure that we have curriculum for our esports pathways through Generation Esports and NASA to ensure that our coaches have something that's robust and that they can use that's turnkey. We want to include digital citizenship and open up the different career pathways. The equipment and resources, we have invested heavily using a lot of those COVID funds and creating these esports labs and STEAM labs around the district. So all of our labs should have a minimum of 12 esports laptops in a cart. They have esports desks and chairs that are ready to rock and roll. So, those 5 lucky sites that have those state-of-the-art esports labs, the other sites also have, a place where they could game. And eventually what we want to do is we want to bus the students over to the other 5 labs so they could also get that experience in there. And, building strong relationships with local organizations and partnerships. I stress the importance of working with local universities and colleges that are already doing this type of work, because those could be key partners in helping you organize the showcase or a tournament. So that's going to be a key component for this. Now here is another little short video, and I'll pause the audio for this one, but this is Mr. Hood's elective course. They won the NASIF Beyond the Game video challenge. So, the whole campaign was Why We Play campaign. So they talked about, the different components and aspects of esports that are just beyond the game, right? So what other skill sets are they gaining from being part of esports? You have the social emotional aspects, you have the attendance and academic improvements, but students really want to feel part of something in their community and their space, right? So this is something that's being developed. Okay. We also got a Compton High School lab built. We had this influencer come out and build a state-of-the-art lab using, in partnership with Best Buy and Intel. They were able to build these computers, and now Compton High School has one of these labs built in their space as well. So, partnerships are key. They can help make your esports program a success. And, the collegiate support and pipeline is also a critical piece. And what can you gain from it? You gain mentorship, you can get tournament support, field trips, and pipeline information, right? So Cal State Dominguez Hills and Compton College both gain our students, and we have alumni from our esports programs still playing for their programs, right? And many of the students stay in those STEAM fields as well, right? So you were creating a pipeline within esports with these programs that also have esports. And here's a picture of our wonderful coaches who went through a training with Valor Esports for training them on how to be excellent esports coaches, right? How to provide that positive feedback for our students. Here we have some of our scholars right after COVID doing the virtual with Cal State Dominguez Hills and their mentorship program. And here's our Valor coaches as well. So this is a video that I'm gonna show. this is our esports showcase that happened this past year. And this was our kind of like a crown jewel of where esports has evolved in Compton from year one to where it is now. Busing kids into a multi-purpose room to it being a student-centered program. So check this out.
So welcome to our esports immersive showcase, where we showcase both our middle school and our high school championship game for our winter season. We have our high school tournament that's being produced and broadcasted by the Cara Group, and we also have our middle school tournament that is put together by our Compton early college students and their elective sports with Mr. Hood and with the support of Landfest. So we're very excited to have our partners here to help make this showcase immersive. We have all these type of vendors. We have all our partners that make esports a possibility here at Compton Unified. So in order to make this an immersive experience, we've invited our partners from Cal State Dominguez Hills Esports, who are a strong partner with us. They support our students through a mentorship program, and they're running a Mario Kart tournament live here for our students. We also have Compton College here to showcase their program. We also have a gaming truck in the back where students can come in and play. So this immersive showcase is to show the community, stakeholders, and everyone who wants to see what Compton Unified is all about with our esports program, so they can learn about what we're about.
So we have worked with Compton Unified for 5 years. We have done esports programs and innovation challenges with the Williams Sisters Foundation. We have incredible companies giving away prizes. We have raffles, we have food. It's fun for everybody.
It's super exciting to see our young people being able to be a part of such an amazing event, really being able to put their skills to the test and compete against schools across our school district. It's interesting to see, and a great way to see how Compton Unified is exposing our kids to the future. Our kids are able to compete in this level, but then also there's so many different other exposure to college opportunities, career opportunities, really getting their foot wet here at Compton Unified School District in this program.
All right, so you heard from our school board president there, Denzel Perry, right? I think that's the whole emphasis of this, right? It's providing opportunities to career pathways within the STEAM atmosphere and space. So I want to share with you all our wonderful resources. I compiled this website called bit.ly/cool-site. And I'll share it in the chat as well. But in this website, you'll be able to find everything that we've done with our esports program. Including this presentation today. If you want to peruse through it and watch it again, we have a couple of case studies as well from our esports program in Compton Unified School District. We've done a collaboration with LACO with our podcast as well, where I'm featured in one of the podcasts. But as I mentioned, student-centered, right? So you'll hear from our scholars and students talk to you about the impact that esports has made in their lives, and including the voices of our esports coaches as well. We've done with LACO and UCLA, done a little bit of a case study as well on an impact of esports. And, this kind of sums up what we're trying to do here in Compton and across LA County when it comes to esports program. So everything, there's no secret. There's everything that I shared with you all today is possible in increments, right? Again, we've been doing this for quite a bit of time. We've been solidifying our partnerships, but everything is done bit by bit. And without the leadership and the support of our esports coaches and our leaders and our school board and superintendent, this couldn't have been made possible. So, think about it that way. What team do you want to build to make this a huge success? All right, so now with that being said, I do want to open it up to any questions. I'm going to put my contact information here if you want to reach out to me directly. Of course, I'm always open to answer any questions, hop on a Zoom chat, Teams chat, and we'll be able to connect as well.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. So yeah, I'm definitely interested on just impressions that you guys have, reactions to what was shared, where it fits into where you are in your district. So please feel free to come off of mute. You don't have to type all of that in chat, but I would love to just hear from anyone. Any thoughts, questions, comments? I know we had some folks who had to go. I know this is during instructional time. So, anyone? Sure, give space. Anyone? Well, I had an opportunity to be at the event, the last video, the winter tournament that Alvaro showed the video for, and that was my first, and so I think my mouth was open the whole time because I just had no idea, and to really see firsthand like what camaraderie, teamwork, what it really looks like, and to see the students in the active roles that they played throughout, to see the innovation in terms of the labs. I was truly mesmerized. And I think for me, it was kind of what led to this newfound passion around esports. Being an educator, you find that you we have to be open to different avenues, different vehicles to ignite a passion within our students. So just being able to participate in that was just, like I said, mesmerizing, and has made me a true fan. While I don't do any gaming, but I, as an educator, I love seeing the enthusiasm and passion in anything, and so this was evident here, and so I'm a true fan that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a true testament of the students' hard work, the coaches' hard work, right? Everyone that had a little hand in, and all the partners that came through, including ViewSonic. Definitely want to thank everyone that made that experience a wonderful experience, to our students, to our community members, to our leadership. It's a group and a community effort. And I think, with that, we get a lot of buy-in to our program. We want to continue to see it flourish and expand and grow, because our students love to be showcased. We had our elementary school students come out and get their awards for their Minecraft book creator showcase, where
Oh
they
my
created a
gosh.
story in book creator, and then they created the story in a video game setting in Minecraft, and they were able to record it and submit it for some prizes. So the parents were very enthused and excited to see them as well. So there's a lot of different ways, whether it's game-based learning, gamification, using this strategy to really get students, immersed in the curriculum, immersed in the content and the standards, that can be played in with esports. And that was, something that we saw from Riverside County. We borrowed their concept, and they were able to, share the wonderful resources, so we could emulate that at Compton Unified as well.
Awesome. And I mean, and that's what we do. I mean, I think that's the beauty of the education world and space, is that we borrow and we make available so much,
Yeah.
because that's how we thrive. And you see something, and then you kind of you make it your own, right? Based upon your population and all those things. So love, 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 love.
Yeah. Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel, right? The
Right.
resources that I shared with you all, look through them, emulate, and enhance and cater to your community and to your group of students. I think in education, that's a big plus to have, is reusing, right? I would say
Yes.
reusing
Yes, that's
much of
what
the
we do.
materials that are out there, and brainstorming and talking to other leaders in this space as well, to see what they're doing, and expanding and improving the programs are also a key factor.
Absolutely. And I think, being able to see the goal, right? Alvaro's story really represents coming from, the humble roots of where they started to where they are now. And again, I know, as you put in the chat, you all are at different places in that continuum, but it's a success story of where it can go if you kind of keep at it, right? Stay the course.
Right.
What I loved hearing about is like he was mentioning the leadership roles that the students are taking on, putting them behind the scenes where they're in fact kind of running these tournaments and the production aspect of it, because that's what's going to really launch them into that career path in a very tangible way. So, I mean, all of that, like that's not learned from a book, right? These are these real life experiences that are going to really carry our kiddos to their next chapters in leadership roles and career paths and all that. So that was just awesome. So as a testament to staying the course, I encourage you all to do that wherever you're at in the journey, even if you're in that deciding stage. Maybe what you heard today will kind of give you that nudge to keep going or to start something in your own community district.
Yeah, indeed.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I see no one is wanting to come off of mute. Thank you for Roger for what you just put into chat. Love that. See Alvaro's.
Yeah, and just to talk a little bit about that, you do want to make sure that the setup, and we work with different partners, and if you want to send me an email, Roger, we could get a little bit more into the details of what it takes to build such a lab. But the dual purposes is key, right? We're working with our Korean Technical Education Department to provide the game design pathway there. As I mentioned, we want to do a cybersecurity pathway. We've done virtual reality creation in these spaces as well. And on top of that, we do want to have like the TV and broadcasting field and pathway running through the same esports lab, right? So if it's just esports, that's where you can't really justify the funding. But if you could tie in different pathways, different connections to really make it impactful, and trust me, you could get a lot of bang from that space, and we're trying to do that, right? And of course, it's having and hiring the right people to help you do that is key too. And then Dr. Fox.
Yes, thank you. I'm Wesley Fox. I'm a dean here at Talladega College in Talladega, Alabama. I just want to say thank you for this information. I am a proud product of Compton Unified School District myself.
Awesome.
So yes, I know how important this is, and I look forward to our next conversation.
Wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Let's connect. Awesome. And we're doing great stuff over here, and however we can support you impacting the work over there, let me know.
Outstanding.
Awesome.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for piping in, Dr. Fox. Appreciate that. Love to hear that. Anyone else comment? Question? I want to make sure I leave space. Okay, well, I am hoping some of you have taken advantage of dropping a comment, any type of reflection into the community space. Let me drop it one more time. And then again, like I said, you will have an hour to respond after this session. And hold on, I'm gonna do it one more time, just so in case you didn't get it. What's it not doing? I'm so sorry. My computer is being a little crazy. Okay. And I will not. Oh, thank you, Alvaro, for putting your information there. As you all know, these sessions are always recorded. They will be made available in the community, as well as if you did register, it will be emailed out. But I just recommend that you join the community, and you'll find this session as well as all of our esports recordings in the community. If there aren't any additional questions or comments, I will go ahead and say goodbye, and I hope you'll join us next month for our esports session. Thank you, Alvaro. I appreciate you. Thank you for the
Yeah.
information. Alvaro has shared this out. What I'll make sure is in the post that I do with the recording, I'll also embed the deck there, so you'll have it in case you don't have it here. Again, I thank you, Alvaro, and I thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.